The Republican presidential candidate and Ohio Governor John Kasich now joins us gleefully from Columbus. Welcome, Governor. Thank you. You heard some cheering when John Boehner's resignation was announced in some quarters. You've known him for a while.
Long time.
Yeah. Give us your reaction to his resignation.
Well, I'm saddened. I think John was a very, he's a great guy. He's, in an interview, sort of described it all, didn't it? It's a shame that people weren't seeing that earlier on. You did a very good job in the interview. But look, I was there in the 90s when we actually got things done. Think about it. We changed the welfare system, which had been in place for about 40 years. We balanced the budget, of which I was the chief architect. And we cut taxes. The economy was growing, and we were doing great. And when I left Washington, we had a $5 trillion surplus. And Boehner sat at the leadership table right next to me. And we pushed those things through, and that was some of the most productive time that Republicans or conservatives have had. Think about it. Balancing a budget, which people think is a fiction, reforming welfare, and cutting the capital gains taxes and creating economic growth. So, we need to reflect on his accomplishments then and his accomplishments in rising and becoming Speaker.
What about his, in terms of why that's harder to do today, what role do you think what the group that he called were the false prophets in your own party, what role do you think the false prophets play in the current state of things?
Well, it's about inexperience. I mean, the people who keep saying that they want things to happen, what have they accomplished? What have they gotten done? They're serving in the Congress. Have they accomplished anything? You know, when I served there, we achieved things. I achieved things, you know. I was a reformer. I've been a reformer all of my lifetime. As you know, I shake up the system all the time. You know how much reform and change it took to balance the federal budget? I mean, I stepped on more toes than you can imagine. Coming to Ohio and reforming things out here, this state was about dead. Now we're doing well. People didn't think I could do it. You know how much we had to shake up? And so a lot of the people who are doing the complaining and saying, why isn't anything getting done? Maybe they ought to look in the mirror. What have they accomplished? I mean, are they just speech makers? Are they just people out there yelling and screaming? But John, I have to disagree with your panel. When I travel around this country, and I was just in South Carolina, I was in New York, in Boston, in Iowa, you know what I know? Maybe people are yelling loud, but at the end of the day, people are now beginning to say, what can you do, Governor, to bring people together to accomplish things? So sometimes you hear loud voices out here they're the ones that get the attention and get the headlines. But I got to tell you, at the end of the day, I believe the Republican Party will pick somebody who is a reformer, who is a change agent, but who has accomplished things and have experience. So all these people yelling and screaming, you ask them, what have you accomplished for the time that you've been in public office? Be an interesting question, wouldn't it?